Hi, I'm Eric Johnson at Vanderbilt's Owen Graduate School of Management, and I'm here today with Anu Aiyengar. Anu is the global head of M&A for JPMorgan Chase & Company. We're just so excited to have you here today, Anu.
I'm very excited to be here. The refurbished Owen looks amazing.
Yes, it's been a really exciting spring and exciting year
Yeah.
for us. And after a slow start, it looks like deal activity is ticking up a little bit. We've seen some big deals in pharma and
hmm
a lot of things happening this spring in cybersecurity space. What are you seeing, and where do you see the year going?
Well, Eric, you picked the exact two sectors which are really active, both healthcare and tech. So, healthcare is coming off 3 years or so where most of the biopharma companies, as well as the testing companies, were all focused on COVID related activity. And so there's quite a bit of pent up demand in that sector for more M&A activity, and that's what you're seeing the beginnings of. In fact, that's what brings me to town because we obviously start the year off with our defining healthcare conference in San Francisco. But one of our new initiatives at JP Morgan is we are having a mid market healthcare conference in Nashville,
That is
uh,
really great.
which I'm so excited about. So we have about 350 companies here, and we hope it becomes as defining as our San Francisco conference.
That's wonderful. As you know, healthcare is really important to the Owen School, and
That's
about,
right.
about 20% of our students end up in healthcare, largely defined. So it's a hot area for us. A lot of alumni in town are very excited about your conference.
That's great. That's fantastic. And tech, tech's been interesting because valuations in that sector have pulled back anywhere from 20 to 90% from the heyday valuations
Yeah,
in 21.
yeah,
And so that has created a lot of opportunity. So if there is a company that you really liked, but then felt, oh, it's too highly valued, you may still be paying a 50% premium on top of where it trades, but still get it cheaper than what you had to pay for it in 21.
and the venture pullback must be putting pressure on some of those uh,
Yeah,
young companies to do something. Uh,
it's a combination of the challenges in the equity capital markets. The IPO market has been really, really slow. So, and with the pullback of venture money, it's there's almost a paradigm shift in terms of the early growth companies that you see in tech. Thinking about and having to come up with a plan which says, what is my path to profitability? Because there was a time in the market when it was all about growth. And in fact, if you were generating cash flow, sometimes people asked, why aren't you investing more and driving even higher growth? Whereas today, the focus is on, yes, still growth, but profitable growth. And if you're an early stage company, how many years are you going to take? Is that 3 years, 5 years? What is your path? What is your vision?
yeah. It sounds vaguely familiar to early times in your career after the dot
That's
com
right.
bust and so forth. Profitable growth. It's a
I
novel
know.
idea, right?
It's certain concepts. Valuation matters.
Yes,
Due diligence matters.
yes,
Cash flow matters.
yes, yes.
Right? Things like that.
Yeah.
It's more old school and I think a bit more comforting.
Yes, yes. So we're seeing slow growth for the
hmm
first half of the year, and looking ahead, what worries you for the back half of 2023?
So I'd put it in kind of two kind of phases, right? One part of it is not helpful for M&A, and the second part of it is very helpful for M&A. So the first part is the macroeconomic and geopolitical uncertainty. So we don't know what is going to happen with Fed funds rate. There's a whole range of scenarios. There is one more 25 basis points hike, and then that is it. Some part of the street is forecasting a cut. Some people are forecasting continued increase. So there's a range
Yeah.
of outcomes.
Anything could happen.
And yeah, and then the question is, where do you want to land inflation? So I think we're going to be watching inflation data pretty carefully because the U.S. consumer has been pretty resilient, but at some point of time, they are going to get hit by everything that is happening around in the world. And so the fact that growth has slowed and valuations have come down, that's not a problem. But the uncertainty is a problem for M&A. On the positive side, because growth is slow, organic growth for companies is challenging, which means your only path to growth is through M&A. And even though interest rates have gone up, they haven't gone up anywhere like, the past,
Yes.
some levels that maybe a lot of the people who are currently going to school here have never seen.
Yes.
But interest rates are still pretty reasonable for us to do M&A with. And equity market valuations, like I said, are again a little bit of reasonableness coming into it is not a bad thing. So the biggest impediment to M&A is the uncertainty. Because finally it's a confidence game. So boards and CEOs do more M&A when they are confident. And so for confidence to come in, you need a bit more certainty.
Yeah. You've been recently named sole head of M&A for JPMorgan Chase. How has that platform impacted or influenced your leadership? And what advice do you have for professionals in the M&A space?
So I've now been at JPMorgan doing M&A since I left here. So it's been a long time and a very fulfilling journey. And what I'd say about having a global job is I really like that element of JPMorgan because it's a truly global company, mix of several companies from different parts of the world which kind of came together.
Yeah.
And so every part of the world we go in, there's a 100-year history of being there,
Wow.
which is very different from an American company going into other markets. And so I like that. And I like the ability to connect the dots and make things happen and having a global workforce. So that's the interesting, exciting part about it. A lot more travel, a lot more kind of movement across time zones and experience with different cultures. So a bit more tiring, but more fun.
That's great. Well, when you visit here, I always ask you to share a leadership lesson. So can you share a leadership lesson for our audience?
Sure. Um, I'd say be present, come prepared, and always contribute. That would be my advice to all the students here as they show up at whatever work it is that they choose to do. And as you grow and become a manager, I view kind of my role as getting the best version of everyone who works in my team. Allow them to become the best version of themselves. Because everyone has it in them, and there's all different types, different strengths. So it's not changing them, it's not making them something to fit a mold or anything like that. Just become the best version of yourself.
Mm-hmm. And you're coaching them to be present and speak up.
That's right. That's right. Because everybody, that's why we have such a diverse team and people from all over the world and different backgrounds. And the only way to benefit from that is if everyone comes prepared, they are present, and they speak up.
Well, Anu, thank you so much for spending the day with us at Vanderbilt.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.